Let's bring to the conversation the chairman of the Democratic National Committee, Jamie Harrison. Mr. Harrison, great to have you back on the show. We can talk about abortion in just a moment, but obviously you're hearing all the talk. You're hearing from Democrats, friends of yours, colleagues, members up on Capitol Hill who are worried about President Biden, worried about the debate. We'll be watching closely this press conference today. Is there any doubt in your mind that President Biden should be the Democratic nominee for president?
No doubt whatsoever, Willie. Listen, 14 million people in 50 states, in our 5 territories, in D.C., and our Democrats abroad went to the polls, did caucuses, and voted for Joe Biden to be our nominee. So without any hesitation, equivocation, I am saying Joe Biden, who has over 90% of the delegates to the DNC convention, is the nominee for our party. And so, folks, it's time to follow the lead of the CBC. It's time to follow the lead of the CHC and what we saw with labor yesterday. It's time to lock your knees and stiffen your spines and get on board to support this president. If you're spending more of your time on TV talking about Joe Biden than talking about Donald Trump and Project 2025, folks, you got to do a course correction. We got to focus on the greatest threat to American democracy that we have ever seen. And that is in Donald Trump, a man who ripped away women's right to control their own bodies for the first time in 50 years. The daughters who are growing up now have less rights than their mothers and their grandmothers. We cannot allow that to continue and to happen. And the focus has to be on beating Donald Trump. And Joe Biden has done it before, and he can do it again.
So, Chairman Harrison, no question the stakes of the election are as high as you say. We should note, though, that so many of these primary ballots were cast before that debate. These voters now have new information, and so do lawmakers. And I guess my question to you is, how do you respond to really influential Democrats like former House Speaker Pelosi, who yesterday made clear she was not ready to just go along with a Biden campaign? What is your answer to them?
Well, the speaker made clear that she supports Joe Biden, has always supported Joe Biden, and will support Joe Biden. You know, this is the thing that folks have to understand. Why do you vote for a president? Do you vote for a president because of their age? Do you vote for them because they debate well? Hell, if debating well was the real key to winning elected office, I'd be a U.S. Senator right now because I dragged Lindsey Graham's behind across that debate stage. That's not why you vote for a president. You vote for a president to get stuff done. And what president has gotten more stuff done than Joe Biden? This has been the most consequential, the most transformational president of my lifetime. I'm 48 years old. Think about the things that he has done to improve the lives of the American people. Right now, prescription drugs are lower because of Joe Biden. Right now, roads, bridges, internet's being placed in communities, lead pipes ripped out because of Joe Biden. Right now, 1 million veterans are getting more benefits to address the issues of being exposed to toxic fumes because of Joe Biden, the largest climate investment in the history of this country because of Joe Biden. This man has transformed the judiciary. He has appointed more black women to the courts of appeal than all presidents combined. That's because of Joe Biden. First gun safety legislation in 30 years because of Joe Biden. I can go on and on and on about how this man has transformed this nation as president. That's why you vote for a president. Donald Trump can't claim that, but Joe Biden can. And that's what we need. He has earned this nomination. It hadn't been given to him. He earned it because of the good work that he's done for the American people. And so we need to stick with him. Look at what the Republicans are doing right now. This guy has been convicted, Donald Trump, 34 times convicted felon, found liable of sexually assaulting a woman. And we're going to send that to the White House? Wake up, America. Wake up, Democrats. It's time to stiffen your spines and knock your knees and be for your president. Stop with all of the hand-wringing. Let's focus on winning this election, not for Joe Biden, but for the American people.
So, Chairman, when you hear Donald Trump in Florida last night and the kinds of things that he was saying at that event, and I erroneously quoted a Truth Social post about Kamala Harris, which is a fake, and that is my mistake. But when you hear him and the kinds of things he was saying in Florida, how do you account for the kinds of polls that Democratic congressmen are telling reporters they're seeing that show the Democrats doing so badly in House races in November, given what Donald Trump is saying out on the campaign trail this week?
Well, this is the difference right now. You know, Donald Trump is a lunatic. We all know that. He's a narcissistic liar who wants to be a dictator on day one. His Project 2025 allows that to happen. His Supreme Court that says he has blanket immunity to do whatever the hell he wants allows him to do that. And what you have seen on the Republican side is them falling in line, knowing all of that they've known, twice impeached and all, falling in line. The reason why the polls are as close as they are, and they're close, their razor close, is because we as Democrats need to solidify behind our guy. Stop the hand-wringing, stop all of the cerebral hoops that we're jumping through, and focus on Joe Biden, a good man, a decent man, a man who has worked hard to transform this nation. He's been doing the job for 4 years. He's doing it right now on the NATO stage. He has brought America back to its prominence in the international arena. So I don't understand whether I need to see this, I need to see it. Hell, you've seen it for the last 3.5 years. What more do you need to see? We were talking a few months ago about how amazing Joe Biden's speech, one of the best speeches we've ever seen at the State of Union. And because of a 90-minute debate, we throw all of that away? Come on, folks. Focus on what is important, which is America's freedom. You got two men in this race, two men. You got Donald Trump, who we know who he is and what he will do because he's done it before. And we have Joe Biden, who has a track record better than any president in my lifetime. Let's do the right thing. Let's focus on supporting this president and let's get this done.
Chair of the Democratic National Committee, Jamie Harrison, thank you so much for coming on the show this morning. Come back soon. Appreciate it.
No ambiguity.
No, see, I appreciate a lack of ambiguity.
No ambiguity.
That's what we need right now. Come.
Hey there, MSNBC fans. I'm Luke Russert, and be sure to join me, Rachel Maddow, Jen Psaki, Lawrence O'Donnell, Steve Kornacki, Joy Reid, and many more September 7th in Brooklyn. MSNBC Live Democracy 2024. Click on the link for ticket information. We will see you there.